Good morning. My name is Cheryl Harris. I'm the Clinical Informatics Nurse Manager, and today we're going to go over adding a CC to a provider note. There are a couple ways that you can do this. One that is very helpful and efficient and allows you to have that correct provider selected each time is to add that provider to the patient care team. To add a provider to the patient care team, you're going to, of course, go to the patient's clinical desktop by way of the schedule. When you're checking that patient in or when rooming that patient, by going to the clinical desktop, you're going to see a red or blue eye here. You're going to click on this red or blue eye. To open it, looking at the tabs across the top here, you will select patient care team, and then you will add a provider to that patient care team. Searching that provider, I'm going to select Dr. Mascara here. This is who I am trying to add to the patient care team. As you notice, there are several entries here for Dr. Mascara. Of course, his task list will not be the appropriate selection. If you look here and see that this is an e-referral, this gives you an indication that this is the electronic entry for this provider within TouchWorks. Also, you'll notice that his first, last, and credentials are within the same field. This allows you to understand that this is the correct entry that you need to select for referring provider. So by doing so, you're just going to select this checkbox here and click OK. Clicking OK enters Dr. Mascara here in this entry. You can at that point select the role of that provider at the time, whether it's your primary care or whomever it may be, and then any relationship to that patient, you can do that there. It is not required, but can be helpful. If you have added all of those that you need to add to the patient care team, all you'll need to do then is save and close. Start your note for the day. Starting your note for the day, you will then go in and do your vitals, whatever process that it is that you use when rooming your patient. You go ahead and take care of all of that now. I will shorten that just for purposes today. After entering your information, you're then going to save your documentation. After saving your documentation, you'll then come over to your CC. Select this box next to the CC. If you notice, those two providers the one provider that we entered and the one that you saw on that screen are both listed here in the patient's primary care team. Selecting this checkbox here is going to pull Dr. Mascara over here as your entry. And if you notice that it tells you that it is going to send Dr. Mascara a review document task, that is appropriate. If for some reason you are not able to find a provider within that patient care team section, which you should not run into that. But if you happen to get to this point and you hadn't added anyone to the patient care team and you needed to look up anyone to send a review document task to or a CC to, then of course you would continue to do your process here. And you would search for the provider that you would like to search for here. And you have a couple of options here because it's very, very important that you select the correct provider. So always select a referring provider. So when you do your search, try your best to drill that down to that option. If you pick another option, you will likely get the incorrect method of reaching these providers. So at that point, then you would just need to select the provider that you are looking for. If you notice, this provider option says fax. That is likely because this provider is clearly not within Springfield area and is not a TouchWorks provider, which is fine. You do know now that this is going to be the method that this provider is going to be reached related to this patient's information. Go ahead and select OK. Once you save and close and your provider finalizes that document then is sent to the providers that were listed as a CC. If you have any questions about this process, please reach out to your clinical informatics nurse or email our clinical informatics at siumed.edu. We also use Halo as an option. Feel free to Halo your CI nurse and they can assist you in this process. Thank you for joining our video today.